Becky here, and I'm just excited to share some news with you. It's a cold, wet day here in Oklahoma, but we just recently closed on our land, and this is where we moved our mobile home and where we've been living for the past few years. We've managed it and been partnered with our pastor on this land, and it's now ours, and we're really excited. We've already really felt we've had a sense of ownership because he's kind of freely just let us use and take care of the land as we saw fit. But we're really excited for it to be ours and to move forward. And we have long-term goals, maybe of building in the back of the land. It does have 5 homes placed on it, and we put our mobile home right next to the first home. So they're 4-acre plots, 5 homes, and this is actually a family, and so I love having a closeness with them. And we just plopped our mobile home right next door. Took their backyard, kind of, but I'm standing here by our carport. But we're really excited. We own these 20 acres, and we're excited what the future holds. We'll see. It's long-term goal. We're happy where we are. We'll be raising our kids here for many years to come. But maybe that build will happen. You don't see a terrain difference, but that back of that land has amazing views, and it doesn't even capture well on camera. But I'm excited about those possibilities. Right now, we're just taking it easy on what we have to get done here. We do have a foundation flattened, and this is where our well, and we have some power set up here to eventually have a big shop here. So our drive loops around the back of our home and goes underneath our carport, and we'll just add more gravel to get to our shop. So we just bought one of these pre-made sheds right now. My husband kind of hated the idea, but we needed some place for our tools and some place for our mower. We have a 72-inch Kubota that needs a home, and we do need to get a ramp built to get the mower up there. But right now it's a shed. It could be a tiny house or a she shed. Who knows what the possibilities are endless with that. So I felt like it was a sound investment, and we paid cash because the interest on these things, if you do a payment, is awful. They're awful. So it's ours too. And we love having this little bit of storage. And otherwise, we had a Great Pyrenees, and we don't have her anymore. Unfortunately, she took her job of loving us all too seriously. She showed signs of aggression towards the delivery people, and we had to let her go. So we found a family that lived rural, and they took her, but we have her old home sitting here. I built it from the siding of our home when we resided the back of it. And so, you never know, it could be a goat house one day. We just have these little, buildings plopped around. They will serve a better purpose, but right now, we're just, they just are. But this brown building is our garden shed. It is where we just keep our outdoor supplies, tools, chainsaws, things like that. And that I'm looking, maybe it could be a chicken house. That's kind of my thoughts. We moved here with the intentions of being fairly self-sufficient. We've loved and got the privilege of meeting Wrangler Star and all those things. When we moved here, we wanted to be homesteaders and all that. Well, we've been business people. We've kind of started a business, construction, and doing all those things have kind of been set aside. So we hope to, pick that up one day. I feel like my husband's going to need a little bit of convincing, but I watch Read 'em and Weed 'em and Reap, and I am inspired by her mini farm and all these things. And so you never know, I might have myself some Nigerian dwarfs. I have extra T-posts from old fence line we pulled out. I'm trying to, not be a hoarder, but, keep things that could help us establish what we're looking to do in the future. So I am going to share the front of our home. I did do a little makeover of it before winter hit, and we're looking to get the home bricked. We are currently just kind of floating in the air because we didn't want to invest into anything that was not the end goal. So we don't have porches built. We just have our roof coverings, and we're looking to get bricked and maybe porches. We'll see how far things can stretch after we pay off debts and be wise with our increase. So I'm going to share the update I did to the front of the home, and in the future you'll be seeing hopefully a beautiful bricked home.
Hey, what are you doing out there?
Oh, this is awesome. Okay.
You need to get a life.
I know.
You need a boyfriend?
I do need a boyfriend. My husband's crazy. Oh my gosh. I swear. Yeah, that's my husband Travis. He's really fun. Anyway. Alrighty, all the patching is done. The house truly looks dreadful. Look at all that old trim. It was beautiful a year ago. Now it's weathered and needing covered up before it deteriorates. So I'm gonna start rolling. The front of the house is ready to go. I need to fix that fascia. I'm actually just prepped it enough to just roll paint, and then I'm gonna cut in with a brush and get all along the fascia here with a brush tomorrow. So progress. Okay, so the sun has set. Got the first coat of paint on the front of the house. Nothing trim, but the rolling coat, you can see already, it looks huge improvement. The bottom of the house looks gross because it was rotted out from the previous little bottom plate that was along there. When we get brick down, we'll obviously slap a new one down there. We're not going to replace siding for that. I've caulked things in pretty good, and when we get we'll probably use like a 1x8, I don't know, something like that to fix the bottom and hide those holes and make sure it's waterproof. But I'm super pleased. Paint hides a multitude of sins. All the time caulking and preparing totally paid off. So I'll do trim and windows tomorrow, and then we'll get second coat on, and I'm just gonna work side by side to get across the whole house. And actually, wait, I'm going to be building, I got 31 by 4 by 6 foot boards, and I'm making shutters. I have enough for the 5 windows along the front of the house, and I'll be making and staining shutters and slapping those up once the front is painted and finished, and then I'll be going to the other sides of the house. So I'm pretty excited. That'll be a nice, really nice new look. I mean, just having the front door cased now, I threw casing on it and caulked it in, looks so much more complete as it's floating up there in nowhere land. I'm thinking of building a new staircase for the back door that we'll be able to use when we build our back deck on, a really big wide staircase, and stealing the one that came with the house and just throwing it here until this porch is built. Anyway, a lot of gab, but first coat of paint looks amazing. Well, here is the front of the house, finished paint. I did build one shutter. I wanted to kind of see the scale and see how it would look against the windows, and I really like it. I think, you know, it'll work nicely. I repaired the soffit by the front door, so that looks seamless and lovely. It was like broken and hanging down, and I think there was even a old bird's nest in there, which is fantastic. It took a half a box of caulking and about 2.5 gallons of our finished outdoor paint, you know, exterior paint. I also went and bought a gallon of Kilz all-purpose, you can see here, just to hit the trim before I did the exterior paint, because it was so weathered. I was just sure the paint alone wasn't going to cover it up well. So it looks lovely. It looks as it ought to, really. It's probably still drying. I did not get up here. I'm a little bit fearful. I took a fall at work a few weeks ago off the back of a bar stool, and it was seriously one of those YouTube, like, fold yourself in half one way and then land on your head the other way, and it was bad. So I'm just kind of nervous to go high. And so I didn't finish along that last beam there. I just rolled as close as I could. So I'm going to either muster up the courage or ask my husband,
because he's awesome like that. So anyway, I'm going to get shutters constructed and get them stained. I'm using the Provincial stain that we've used all along these beams. Here we did shiplap decking when we did the front porch, and you know, the knots and all the stuff kind of poked through, and I thought, oh, I want to touch that up, and obviously we haven't. There's a lot in the exterior we haven't taken care of yet, but luckily we did stain our beams before it was built, you know, in construction. We still need to, these were recommended to let cure, the vertical posts, because they're pressure treated. So they've obviously cured long enough. It's been a year, over a year and a half almost. So I need to get those stained, and I pulled in my ferns because they're just sad. I think they're getting too much sun, but I'm going to show you my little, my parking area I have right here. I need to stain that also with the Provincial stain, and my ferns are usually in those 2 pots, but they're just, I think they're getting a little burnt. I water them almost twice a day, so I don't know. But here she is. It's such a big improvement. I'm very pleased. And I mean, this is only one side of the house. Like, oh my God, I'm exhausted already. So I will share when shutters are up, and I will do a walk around once the house is complete also. So I'm not sure if it'll all be in one video or not, but anyway.
I love the warm wood tone of the shutters. It adds that little bit of warmth to the face of the house that's just kind of stark white. So that little bit of character just kind of upped it a notch. You know, honestly, I struggle with kind of wanting it all now and having everything just be done and live and move on. But, you know, it's a process. And I mean, here's our before and after. It's been slow. We focus more on the interior of the home, but we're almost there. And I'm really glad to share the current with you.